What's up, guys? How you doing? How you been? It's been a while since I made a video, and I'll explain why very shortly. And it's a good story, and you're gonna like it. But I'm back because this story was too it's too crazy for me to not jump on. People have been talking about this the last couple days. I was like, it's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll talk about it. But today, it's got past the point of no return with now game journalists threatening acts of violence upon game publishers. Guys, I'll put this in perspective. I talk about game journalism sometimes on this channel because I actually used to be a game journalist. I used to work for a couple websites, making reviews, articles, whatever else. It was my dream job for a long while, but I've kind of moved on from it. I think the world of game journalism, frankly, it's full of weirdos and psychopaths, and I did not want to be friends with those people. And let me dig into some of why. Now, here we have Ethan Gack. Ethan is a senior reporter at Kotaku, and Kotaku is an outlet which is not very beloved by people. For the reason that, and one of the reasons I got out of game journalism, is that they just kind of attack, I hate to use it, it's a cliched phrase, but they do attack the fans of these games. They go, well, listen, you don't have great politics, and if you play this game, you're sexist, and this character shows too much skin, and this is racist, and it's a constant moral lecture. And I think you go to a video game website, you're like, guys, just tell me if the game's good. Tell me if it's fun. I don't want to be lectured to all day. I don't want to hear about harassment and whatever else. These are all very important subjects, sure, but they're not fun. They're not interesting. And obviously, a lot of game websites are going out of business, are losing their money because they don't know how to just have fun and talk about the games. Well, so Kotaku is an outlet which has caused a lot of trouble, and for a result, they've been punished by the industry. They've been blacklisted by a number of outlets that don't want to work with them for one reason or another. One of those outlets is Nintendo. And obviously, that's a big problem. If you're a major video game website and you are blacklisted from Nintendo, what that means is you don't get the video games ahead of time so you can prepare your coverage. You're not going to be interviewing the people who worked on the games. You're not going to be going to these special press events. It's a detriment. But let's be clear, Kotaku dug this own grave. This was their choice. So, Ethan says it's preview day for Zelda, a huge game I would love for Kotaku to inform its millions of readers about firsthand, but Nintendo still has Kotaku blacklisted from advanced coverage, a move I would argue is both unprofessional and coercive. As you can see, people do not like Kotaku. People are now laughing at them. A good friend of mine here, Blue Ping, or Pandas in Video on Twitter, brings up a great point, is that these guys attack these companies constantly. This was a famous article from Kotaku UK that accused Smash Brothers of using ableist slurs. They said they used the R word in Smash Brothers, and people came forward to say not only was that incorrect, but that this was them misunderstanding someone's native Japanese accent. It was kind of racist to assume that a Japanese person would be using American slang for developmentally disabled people. It was clearly a translation error, whatever else. Another article some people point to is this article about how Metroid Dread was already running on emulators only days after release. Now, you could say maybe that is newsworthy, but the problem was the original release of this article said, hey, Nintendo lawyers, don't read this article. And they're kind of very strongly hinting, like, hey, why don't you go and bootleg Nintendo's brand new game, or at least, giving you pointers on how you might be able to do that. Well, if you're Nintendo and you go, okay, there's an outlet that's accusing us of being racist. They're telling people how to bootleg our games. I think they've leaked information before. And again, I'm going to be very fair to Kotaku. It's their journalistic right to do that. I can't tell them, it's not illegal for you to give out this information. But you can't constantly be doing things that are damaging to Nintendo and then go to them and go, oh, pretty please, can I get a free copy of Zelda? And can I come to the press release? And I want to... No, they're not going to... this is not how it works. Okay? There's a fine line you have to walk as a journalist. You have to have these guys. If you want the coverage, you need to have them on your side. Okay, we talk about, it is insidious, this access media. Sometimes we talk about with the Marvel movies. Maybe people are only scoring them highly because they don't want to lose access. There's a little bit of that, and it's an unfair game you have to play. But in Nintendo's defense, why am I going to give free shit to a guy who told people how to bootleg my Metroid game? I don't want to help you now. Okay? It's an interesting tightrope walk. So, the big thing has been that Kotaku is mad they don't have access to the big Zelda game. Obviously, this is a huge loss for them. Every other outlet is going to get a ton of readers and viewership talking about Zelda, and they're not going to be able to take part of it. So what did they do? Well, they went and they've got a bootleg copy of the game because the game is actually leaked ahead of release, and they are now releasing information from the leaked game, story info. I'm not even going to, I'm not even going to look at the article because it's going to be a ton of spoilers. Now, I'll say this. Again, some people are saying, well, fuck Kotaku, how could they do this? I'm going to say, well, Kotaku, well, they got to pick a lane. I don't care that they did this. Okay, Nintendo blacklisted you. You really have no reason to play nice. If you want to get a bunch of clicks and stuff on Zelda by leaking everything, go nuts. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. I don't think you have any right or any moral need as a video game website to play nice with the publishers if you don't want to. If you want to be a scumbag and leak information, obviously this is of interest to people and you get clicks, you have no right to, you have no moral necessity to help a company promote their game the way they want to be and keep their secrets. They can do this, whatever. But they can't then go and complain and be like, I don't know why Nintendo hates us. Well, they hate you because you did this. You're not making it any better. Like, at this point, if any Kotaku journalist says, I don't know why Nintendo blacklisted us, bro, you are leaking all of Zelda. They don't like you, and you should accept that. You should go, we understand Nintendo doesn't like us, and that's fine. Okay, you guys should have an understanding at this point. The fact that any of your journalists are whining about, why does Nintendo not like us, is silly and ridiculous. Here's where the story gets, I've buried the lead as I always do. Here's where the story gets truly ridiculous, is these Kotaku writers, and again, I left journalism because all these people are insane. They're insane ideologues, like hyper-progressives. They always think they're the victim. And these guys, they don't think straight. They're dummies. We have Luke Plunkett, who is a senior writer at Kotaku. Okay? He's also a game designer. I always find it kind of suspicious when I'm like, this guy's got a full-time job at Kotaku. He's not promoting Kotaku. He's trying to get a board game published. I mean, I support independent entrepreneurship, but it makes me wonder if they're not paying this guy very much if he's got to try and make board games on the side. Okay, so there was an tweet thread here, and I'm hoping he hasn't deleted it. He hasn't. I'm worried he's going to delete it because he's getting piled on here. Now, this is Luke Plunkett. He's posting. This is the article. And did he write the initial article? No, it was actually Ethan Gake who published it. The guy who was complaining, that was the first guy who complained. Ethan. Right here. I don't know why I can't tell you about Zelda. I guess I'll just leak it all. Ethan, this is why Nintendo doesn't like you. Are you an idiot? So anyway, I guess, what do you call it? Luke's trying to back up his boy. So this is the article he's referencing, the one we just saw. And here's some of the comments on the article from a guy named Morty. I don't know, is this a big guy, whatever else. He goes, let me get this straight. You complain about Nintendo blacklisting you, then you post spoilers based on leaks. Who's being unprofessional here? I hope you go bankrupt by the end of the year. With the way things are going, you probably will. And I'll just leave this here, NOA legal and NOA.nintendo.com. Well, I'll say this. First of all, I don't know if there is any legal basis. Is it illegal if a game leaks to report on? I don't think there's any legal basis for anything Kotaku's doing here. If they themselves have obtained a pirated copy of the game and they're playing through it and using that to get the information, then you could get them on, like, again, just pirating material. You know what? Honestly, they could go after them. There might be a legal basis there. But I have to agree with him. How can you complain about Nintendo blacklisting you and then post a bunch of spoilers? Like, what are you talking about? This is why they blacklisted you. So I guess Luke Plunkett is complaining. He's going, this guy wants to people to report us to the legal team at Nintendo. What an idiot. What a moron. And he adds, I am years past caring what these people say. I am aghast at the fanatical fervor with which it's thrown in 2023. Really? I don't understand reacting that strongly to this. This is one guy razzing you. Some of their friends are coming in. Rag Burns, I've seen that name before. Telling them, yeah, you guys are right. Nintendo shouldn't have blacklisted you guys. You guys are great. Okay. And then he went a little too far. He went a little too far. And I don't know if he knows he went a little too far. But here's what he said. For the record, here's how I feel about publisher blacklists. Okay. So this is an image of a, let's assume, World War II fighter pilot. And he's got his plane. At first, I didn't know what, I still don't exactly know what he's saying. This is here how I feel about publisher blacklists. I'm really trying to wrap my head around it. But then I looked at it. At first, I was like, okay, is he calling Nintendo, Germans? Is he calling the fans Germans? I looked closer. I went, oh, wait, those are Japanese flags. Hold on a second. And the company, Nintendo, is a Japanese company. I'm like, is he literally implying that because Nintendo didn't give him a free copy of Zelda, that he wants to bomb Japan? I'm not laughing at the comparison, because the comparison, that's a horrible thing to say. I'm laughing at the idea that a Kotaku writer is this divorced from reality. Let's be clear. This is kind of a threat. It's a threat like, oh, you're not going to give us video games? Well, I'll just come and bomb your country. Bro, what are you doing? This is nuts. I'm really trying to figure out what his I'm going to be very charitable and say maybe he didn't realize what this infers. But again, this is a guy, the 6 flags means that he's killed 6 Japanese people. That's what that means. And you're talking about a Japanese game company and you're saying, here's what I think about Nintendo. Bro, this is such a bad look. If anyone else did this, I'll say this, because he's one of these lefty journalists, progressive, whatever else, he'll get a pass. Everyone will go, oh, he made a mistake. He didn't know what he was saying. But if it was anyone else, they would be nailing him to the wall. As I put it, upset about Kotaku being blacklisted by Nintendo's press division, senior writer Luke Plunkett posts a picture implying he wants to bomb the Japanese. Will Kotaku answer to this obvious racist threat? I'm going to say this. No, Kotaku will not answer it. They will sweep this under the rug. But this is the mentality of the modern game journalist, that they think the rules don't apply to them. They can, bootleg games and they can leak information, whatever else. And then the companies are supposed to love them and give them free stuff. That's insane. And then in the end, they go, I'm the victim. We're the victims. I'm a great World War II fighter pilot fighting for truth. And you're like, bro, you do not live in reality. Guys, Luke has deleted this tweet. I think he was right to do so. I think once everyone went, hold on a second, do you want to kill Japanese people? He went, and quickly yanked it down. But wow, what a day for game journalism. What a day for Kotaku, the greatest game website that ever existed. Well, guys, this is normally where I tell you to like and subscribe to the video, but I'm actually going to tell you something completely different, something very exciting. I've been talking about it for almost a year now, and it's live. It's happened. Super Killer #1 is now available for pre-order on the Indiegogo platform. This is a comic book that I've been working on, honestly, for over 20 years. And I've finally been able to make it a reality with the help of my great artist, Keter LeBeau. It's going to be a fantastic book. I am so excited for this. And guys, we have already raised, this is crazy, it has been about 2 days, 1.5 days. We've already raised over $20,000, which is mind-blowing. It's phenomenal. I'm so humbled. I wish I could go to every one of you and shake your hands for helping support me, because this is the path forward for media, guys. This is how we change things. If you're tired of crappy movies, crappy comic books, just the terrible waves of media that are being dumped on us, it's up to us, the independent guys, to step up and go, here's what storytelling looks like. Here's what jokes are. Stop policing us. Stop policing comedy. Let us have fun. And we're doing it. We're making it happen. I'm so excited. So please, guys, if you're interested at all, there's a video on my page. But why don't you just go over to Indiegogo? The link's in the description. You can watch the trailer here. It'll tell you everything the book's about. I think you guys are going to love it. I'm so excited. Thank you to everybody. You're going to eventually get tired of hearing me talk about this comic. So enjoy this time now before you get tired of me plugging it. But this is my first plug. I got to get it out there. Please go to Indiegogo, check it out. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And please leave Japanese people alone. Do not threaten their lives. It's not professional. Come on, Kotaku. What are you doing?